we represent injured people going up against big corporations, big insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, who've been wronged by a defective product or a negligent act. And I think there's just a universal respect and camaraderie on the plaintiff side that we want to help each other to assist our clients to be made whole for whatever was wrong. And we have that mentality obviously in our firm, and I think it permeates throughout most of the plaintiffs' attorneys, where we're willing to try and help. And every time we're able to assist in one of those scenarios, I think it sets a standard, and that's how a lot of change happens. You see FDA warnings on labels. You see products that become safer with multiple airbags and automatic braking. A lot of those are generated because attorneys like us see something that we're like, that's not the best way that product can be made or designed, and then it turns into the industry standard.
And that camaraderie with the firm, I know with these guys, all of us go try cases. So at split second, I can call one of them up and they can go down and pick up the case for me. I tried a 3-week case with Mike where, he came on and he had to learn everything in like 2 or 3 weeks and went on. And I know going to trial with them that they're going to do a phenomenal job. Another example, Jason had a hearing on a Monday in a federal court in Miami. And he called me up at 10:30 in the morning on Monday and said, I just got called by a judge to start trial Monday afternoon, the same afternoon in Palm Beach. Can you go pick a jury for me? So I wasn't even dressed to go to court. I ran home, threw on a suit, ran down the court, picked the jury, and then he tried the case the next couple of days and got a phenomenal verdict.
It was only because you picked one great jury. Literally, you just set it up for us.
But we know we can trust each other because we know that these guys have the experience to go to court, and so does Schuler, that they can go in at any time and just try a case and not have a problem with it. And I know if I need help on a case, I can have them help me out, and they can come in and try that case with me, and it goes as smooth as can be.
It's definitely a team effort, not only with the members of our firm and our staff, but also with other trial lawyers. Everybody seems willing to share the information that they have about certain things, and a lot of unselfishness. And the people that benefit is society. Society benefits because these great lawyers, some of them came before us, some of them that we practice with, they are willing to help out and share as well.
I'd say another thing I would attach to it, not to be too self-promoting of the firm, but a lot of times people will come up to us and say, is this plaintiff's attorney good, or is this plaintiff's attorney a good trial lawyer? And I always say, I don't know. I don't see them in court. You want me to tell you about the good defense attorneys? I can give you a list of dozens of them because I see those guys. So the ones that we see in court are the guys sitting next to me, and I'll never forget. Mike and I tried a case over in Tampa, and we drove over on a Sunday, and we tried the case for about a week. And it's the first time I tried a case with Mike. And I still remember the closing argument he gave was one of the finest things I've ever seen in a courtroom, to the point that I actually just stopped taking notes and doing my job, and I literally was just watching him give this dissertation that every law student should have to watch on Trial Advocacy 101. This is a closing argument. So that level of respect that we have amongst ourselves is big, and I think it's also germane because we have that kind of a reputation within the community that we're trial lawyers. We try a lot of cases. We're not afraid to go to trial. We fight fair in trial, and we end up winning a lot more than we lose. And it's probably the reason we still exist in our current format when every other big firm out there is a big advertising firm, and we're not. We're.
And I think that's why we get a lot of clients coming back to us, because the clients see that we're willing to fight for them, and then they go and refer their friends and family members because they know these guys will go to court if they need to, and they'll do a heck of a job. And usually when we go to trial, no matter what the verdict is, that client is always referring us stuff because they've seen us in court, they see what we can do, they see how good these guys are, and then they go, I'm sending everybody I know to this person. And we have people who have sent 10, 15 people back to our firm just because we've gone to trial on their case, and they maybe didn't get a great outcome. Maybe they did, I don't know, but they saw us in court, they saw us against a defense attorney, and they knew, I like these guys better than that defense attorney, that's for sure.
I call it the hug standard. At the end of the trial, I just want a hug. Yep. If that gives me a hug, I did my job. Right. I tried one about 3 years ago, and it was an okay case. They made an okay offer, and I was like, you might want to consider it. She was like, nope, I want to go to trial. I'm like, yeah, not a problem, we'll go. And the verdict was not as good as we wanted to, and she gave me a hug and said, I can't believe how hard you worked and fought for me in there, and I love you for it, and I really respect what you guys did. I didn't realize what goes into it. She goes, you know my life better than I do. And I think that's part of the work ethic we have that's made us as successful as we've been.
It really makes a big difference because those clients become like family. Just today, I was sitting at my desk and I got a call from the front desk telling me the UPS man wants to say hi to you. So I walk out front. It's Maurice. I've known Maurice. I represented him years ago. He's a great guy. Now he's a UPS guy. So we sat and we talked for a little while, but he remembers us and I remember him, and it's just great to know that, hey, you know what? I represent him now. He's like a friend. I can call him up and talk to him all the time. So it was just, that's the type of relationship we try to build with our clients. And because we do a good job, I think that's what they feel. They feel, hey, we're like family here because these guys are treating us just like they would their family member.
And we get to know so many intimate aspects of their life. We get to know about their medical history, about their employment history, about their relationships with their family, the good, the bad, any privacy that they previously had, they have to share with us. And so that develops a lot of trust between the lawyer and the client.
Yeah. And I think we take that very seriously. We hold that inviolate. And I can tell you one of the biggest fights I've ever had with my beautiful wife of 18 years. I represented a friend of hers, and when I signed her up, we have an oath of confidentiality, and I didn't even tell my wife I was representing her. So maybe 6 months later, when I resolved her case, we were all at a party, and she came up to us and said, God, I can't thank you so much for that great settlement you got on my case. And my wife gave me the Darth Vader death stare. She's like, you didn't even tell me you were representing her?
I get the same thing from my wife.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, honey, listen, it's in the vault. It stays there. I'm sorry. There's no vault for me. There's a vault for everybody. So we take our job seriously, but you can tell we like to have a good time with it as well, because it's tough subject matter. I mean, we're representing people who have been either seriously injured or lost a loved one, and they're looking for us to be able to make it right for them, to fix what was wrong and to get them justice. And we take it very seriously, but if you're going to be holding the axe handle that tight all the time, you won't be as efficient as you can be. You have to have that human element, because you're going to need to convey that human element to that jury to be successful.